Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of the central province of Zambia. And before we get started, I would like to ask if you could hit that thumbs up right now. Usually I ask you at the end if you're still awake, hit that thumbs up. Please do it now because my videos on Africa get the least amount of views and the more obscure parts of Africa get even less. So giving me a thumbs up, dropping a comment down below, and if you can hype this video, that would very, very much help my poor little Africa videos, because there's some interesting things to show you here and I want everyone to be able to see it and not get it hidden by the algorithm because nobody clicks on videos about Zambia. So if you're watching this, please hit just at least the thumbs up right now. So central Zambia, as you can see, it has this border with the Democratic Republic of the Congo. But like it said, it's located in the central part of the country, just a stone's throw from the capital, Lusaka. The capital is Kabwe, right here. There's a lot of things that aren't on this map that I want to show you on Google Earth. One of them is the Kasanka National Park, which is over here. There's like beautiful, I think it's like over here. So it looks like there's towns there. Beautiful pictures there. Oh no, there it is. I found it. Never mind. Kasanka National Park's right there. Great photos on Google Earth. You can see we're in the Machinga Mountains right here. Over here you can see all this swampy area. I guess that is on the map too. The Lukanga Swamp. I didn't see that when I was making this outline. Lukanga Swamp is absolutely massive. There's also the Kabwe National Park over here, has some beautiful photos as well. But what's not listed on here is about right here or so, and that is the Mulungushi Rock of Authority. I want you to remember that that's there, okay? Otherwise, the area is mostly farmland and old mining land. You can see that the province to the north here is called Copperbelt, which I'm sure we'll look at later this year as we go through the seas. This whole area apparently used to be called the Copper Belt because they would mine copper here, as well as lead and zinc. In the year 1903, mining began here for all of that lead and zinc, and they called it the Broken Hill Mine. You can see right there. Back then it was called Broken Hill. It would later become the headquarters of what's now called Zambia Railways. Back then it was called Rhodesian Railways, but we don't call it anything Rhodesian anymore because Cecil Rhodes is canceled. Let's put it that way. But yes, this was a huge mining area for a long, long time. Did I write down when the mines closed? 1994, the mines closed. Here we go. In 1921, though, there was a very interesting archaeological discovery here. They found a skull, or most of a skull. Today it's called the Kabwe cranium, which is a great name, but also known as Broken Hill Man. It turns out he was Homo heidelbergensis, very early human species. It's like almost his whole head except his jaw is missing. It's pretty intact. Pretty cool. So what is located at the Mulungushi Rock of Authority? Basically, it is a big rock. It's more of just like, it's not sticking up. It's not Uluru, right? It's on the ground. It's big flat stone. Here comes a loud car. Big flat stone on the ground where nothing really grows on top of it. So this rock is just sticking out. Goodbye, loud. Oh, goodness, a loud truck. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Okay. Big flat rock in the ground. In 1958, there was a rally held on the rock led by the Zambian African National Congress. And it was the first step toward Zambian independence. It's where the seeds were planted, so to say, for the movement that would become the Zambian independence movement. So the central province is known as the birthplace of Zambian independence. Other than that, Kabwe, which of course is now its name, it's not really called Broken Hill anymore. That's its colonial name, has a very sad reputation because of all of that mining. And they were mining lead. All of that lead went up into the air and settled down in the soil and in the water. And the cases of lead poisoning in this town are absolutely devastating. I saw a few articles called Kabwe the most polluted town in the world. Lead poisoning, if you don't know, I've taken child psychology and development classes all throughout college, since I have my degree in child psychology. Lead poisoning is one of the worst things for a child's growing brain. Exposure to high levels of lead between like 1 and 4, ages 1 and 5-ish, will damage their brain so significantly they'll never ever recover. They will be inhibited for the rest of their lives. And there are so many children being born with this lead already in them because their parents also have, got so much lead in them from, eating fruits and vegetables from here, from drinking the water here. It's devastating, devastating, devastating. And there's really not much that can be done. Is the other sad part, is that once it's in the ground, it's in the ground. You can't dig it out. You can't clean it up. You can't cure people with lead. You can treat it, but you can't cure lead poisoning, essentially, especially for the little ones. So it's very, very sad situation here in Kabwe. It makes my heart heavy thinking about all those poor children who didn't even get a chance just because of where they were born. So sad. But that is essentially the history of the central province here in Zambia. Now, there's not a lot to show you on Google Earth, but what I did find is pretty great. So why don't we just head over to the tablet and I will show you some of the little places I found around the central province of Zambia. Let's go. Here we are in the central province of Zambia. And let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Here is Zambia. Here in like the northernmost part of southern Africa. I wouldn't really call Zambia Central Africa. That's my cat scratching under the desk. Ignore him. Because Zambia's history is very much linked to Zimbabwe. Okay, Jet, that's enough scratching. Very much linked to Zimbabwe because it was all part of Rhodesia. This was northern Rhodesia. This was southern Rhodesia. So, Jet, please, Jet. I just started. Jet, come on, dude. Come on, okay. So yeah, southern Africa. Not South Africa because that's its own country. Southern Africa. Right here in the middle. You can find Victoria Falls along its border there. You can see some of the African Great Lakes up there. Lake Tanganyika, Lake Malawi, or Lake Nyasa, depending on where you are. But we are in here, so let me go through and show you the sights to see. First, I want to show you the Kabwe, that was last video in Uganda, the Kasanka National Park. But look at this beautiful photo. Are these birds or bats? I don't know, but it's pretty remarkable nonetheless. Little viewing point up there. Looks like a little informational hut there. A place for you to see the sunrise or sunset. There's a sweet monkey in the tree. There's a sweet little deer fellow. Gazelle, maybe, I'm not sure. Welcome to Kasanka National Park. There's hippos in the water. Home of the famous bat. Okay, so it is bats. I thought so. I thought it was bats. because I'd read about bat migrations in the DRC, and I was like, are those the same bats that migrate through the DRC? And evidently it is the same bats. Pretty amazing. Look at them go. Yeah, those are the bats I read about. Good to know. I thought so. I thought those were bats. While we are up here in this town of Chipundu, this is where Dr. David Livingstone passed away. He asked for his heart to be buried in Africa. And so here it is. David Livingstone Memorial National Monument. Buried here is the heart of a man who had given his heart to Africa. And there's all sorts of information here. Little museum. Looks like little statues or dioramas depicting his life. Little plaques about death alone will put a stop to my effort. About his life and his death here. Because, of course, he traveled all throughout Central and South Africa, naming Victoria Falls, naming many places here in Southern Africa. This monument occupies the spot where formerly stood the tree at the foot of which Livingstone's heart was buried by his faithful native followers. On the trunk was carved the following inscription: Dr. Livingstone, May 4th, 1873. And I guess that was by Chuma Suza Nasere Chopere. I probably mispronounced that. There's an ablution block there if he needs to perform an ablution. But yeah, it looks like this recreates the time of his death with these mannequins here. I think that was the word I was looking for. Like, look at them going, oh, he is not alive anymore. Pretty remarkable, I think. Here we can find that exact spot still. I guess the tree is long gone, but we can still see the monument there. Here is Kabwe. Now, there's not many pictures here to show you, so I'm going to show you places from above. Over here is the old mine. They call it Black Hill because look at this. The land is destroyed. And this just scar on the land is all that's left of that whole industry of lead mining. Pretty amazing, I think. I mean, sad, but interesting from above. But nearby, if we go up here, we can see the Mulungushi Rock of Authority. Now, the pictures are terrible. You can really see it from above. So it's not a sticky out rock. It's like the land is the big rock. So this is where Zambian independence was first conceived, essentially, at the conference on this rock. And I'm sure that people met on this rock many, many times throughout history to discuss important matters of the area. Look at this swamp. Look at this. There's no pictures of it. It's just a big old swamp. I saw this on Google Earth and I was like, this has to be something. Look how big it is. It's bigger than Kabwe. Like, that's Kabwe. And you saw how big Kabwe is. Like, it's not a tiny village. It's very massive for this part of Africa. It's a big old city, right? That compared to this swamp, it's massive. Big old swamp. Very cool. And then the last thing is the Kabwe National Park, which has a great slideshow. Look at this beautiful lion. Lions, zebras, abundant bird life, and sycamore fig trees of Busonga swamps. But that's pretty much all that I have to show you here. There's not much. I almost thought, well, I guess I can't do a Google Earth segment, but then I kept finding more things to show you from above and various photos and such. So I figured that was a good enough Google Earth segment for tonight. I don't know if there'll be one next video. Next, we're going to the Bahamas, which is great, but they're very obscure parts of the Bahamas, and there's not much to show you there. So I don't know yet. I haven't scripted the video yet. So I don't know if there's going to be a Google Earth segment for that or not. I might just like show you where it is in the world, but there's like hardly any pictures there. It's also the scene of a very sad tragedy that all millennials like me remember where they were when they found out this celebrity had passed away. And she passed away in this area of the Bahamas. Yeah, I remember. I was devastated. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I guess you'll have to subscribe so you can find out. But thank you so much for watching. Oh, they got a kill, looks like. And if you do enjoy this style of content, please, please, please hit that thumbs up and drop the comments down below. Like I said, I would appreciate that very, very, very much. Look at him go. Clop, 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 running off. Zebras all around. So great. Some water buffalo. Very cool. Elephants. My favorite. We have not heard from Topple in a while. There's Topple. Hey, Topple, the elephant. I'll try to do some Topple content soon for you guys. How about that? Okay. It's been a minute since we heard from Topple. There goes a little airplane. A beautiful lion. And a pretty, pretty bird. Look at that beak. That is so cool. Big water bird. Little guys over there. Anti-poaching unit is here. That's wonderful. So yeah, I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. And I hope that you have a good